So the number one thing companies need to survive and thrive and do anything is sales, right? If you have no sales, you have no business. If you have no sales, you have no employees. If you have no sales, you will eventually, over time, no matter how much an investor gives you money, you will run out of cash and you will die. So if you look at, okay, well, how do you generate sales? The number one, like I was always a big fan of The One Thing by the Keller Williams author. It's like, what's the one thing that you need that would drive the most amount of sales? And then I just realized it's the list. It's what I spend 50% of my time on. So Seamless automates the list building. It automates finding the leads that you need to sell to. It automates researching cell phones and emails. And then it gets all this data. It's like using Google for sales, where you type in any name, title, company, or like LinkedIn, except this search engine will also give you the emails, cell phones, and hundreds of insights for all these people, all researched instantly in real time using artificial intelligence in our 10-step AI engine. So like as a salesperson, if you, Matt, hired a new person at your SaaS company, let's just say you're a startup, like, hey, we need to get to 10 customers so we could do an accelerator. Then we need to get to 100 customers so we could raise a seed round. Then we need to get to 1,000 customers so we could raise a Series A, and then whatever, right? Well, okay, if I need to acquire 100 customers, I need a list of 1,000 decision makers. Seamless, you'll be able to type in the criteria. Hey, I sell to this industry, these titles, this employee size, boom, boom, boom. We get thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of people that match that criteria with their emails and cell phones all researched in the platform. So it just automates 50% or more of the non-selling work. Because if I hired you as a salesperson, I only want you prospecting, pitching, and closing.
Of course.
I don't pay you to research.
No,
I didn't hire you from Stanford with a research PhD to sit there and build lists. Like, I want you on the phones, the email, the social media. I want you closing. So Seamless will automate that list building for you.
I love it. So what methods have you seen? Now that they've got the data, they've got the information, what methods have you used? What methods have you seen some of the best used to generate that pipeline and get it really active?
Yeah, number one, I like to call it like the 7-figure sales math. So really reverse engineering how many leads per day do you need to sell to hit 7 figures in sales per rep. Everyone's got a different rep with a different quota, right? Like if you're at Dell EMC and you've got one account, your quota may be 15 million. But on average, a lot of the reps that we talk to, they've got a 7-figure quota. So we'll say, okay, you've got $1 million quota. There's 265 sales days in a year. What is the average deal size? So then you could figure out $1 million divided by 265. Okay, my average deal size is $1,000. I need to close X amount of deals a day to hit the million. I need Y amount of appointments to close X amount of deals. I need Z amount of leads to book the appointments to close the sales per day. And then that's just if you're at 100% to quota. So I say, do the 7-figure sales math, multiply it by 3, 4, 5x. And that way you ensure that you're doing double, triple, quadruple the amount of activity. You crush your quota. And I think the math to figure out how many people you need to be selling to every day to crush your quota is the first step. Second step, going into a platform like Seamless.AI. And by the way, the platform's free. So join for free. And then if you want unlimited leads, it's like $100 a month per user. So it's very affordable. Then build the list every day to hit that number. And then once you build the list, I recommend, because we've got cell phones for everyone, I recommend being on the phone, dialing all the time, calling these people. While you're calling them, do the multi-channel LinkedIn messaging, emailing, you name it. So if you're on a dialer or whatever, call while you're emailing, while you're social selling, and that way you're maximizing multi-channel outreach. And then the last secret to all of that is you got to pick a niche to get rich. The riches are in the niches. If you're a SaaS company that sells to VPs of IT in 50 to 200 employee sizes, pick that one niche versus any IT person at any company in the world. So you can write your messaging about all the pain points, all the biggest desires, all the value propositions, the things that would light them up like the 4th of July or a Christmas tree. When you send that email, you make that call, that literally takes them from where they're at today to where they want to go tomorrow to be successful. And all this stuff I share in all my books, right? Like Sales Secrets, whatever it takes. Like a lot of these books talk about this stuff.
Perfect.
But that's what I would recommend.
Yeah, I completely agree about the niches there. So many times I have software founders coming to me saying, Matt, I need help. We're not getting anything done. We're not getting any traction. I start to dive into their model and what's going on. And I say, okay, who are you selling to? Everyone. Like everyone. You're selling to everyone. Come on. We've got to find a niche. And you said it. Your messaging, once you've picked that niche, your messaging can be directly to that person. It resonates with them. But not only that, you can develop your product towards that person. Your sales calls can be directly hit at right what they're talking about. Your salespeople can speak their lingo. It makes it so much easier when you pick that niche and you really drive home. Notwithstanding the fact that when you're selling to everybody, you're now up against the big players, against the Googles and the Salesforces and all those that are selling to everybody. You now are going up against their marketing budgets and their development budgets. When you pick a niche, you might be one of 2 or 3, and that's it. And now you just have to beat those competitors. So it's so much better to hit that niche. I love that feedback, Brandon. That's perfect.
Yeah, no, it's critical. I mean, we just kept niching down. Like if you've got the list and then you niche down with the list and your messaging is highly custom to those personas, the decision makers, the users, the influencers, right? Like you'll figure out who would buy or use your product the fastest to then get the sale and get the deal, right? It just helps you scale. That's how we went from 0 to $500 million valuation company and tens of thousands of customers, in less than 36 months because of that process that we highlighted, those 4 or 5 steps.